there's going to be an
I would
early
not be
draw.
surprised if Wesley cracked a little bit from this moment. He has to be really careful that he doesn't even give away second place.
Wait a second. I was wrong, by the way. The game underway, by the way, we see right here on the board. We've got a double king pawn opening. What's this one called again? The name is escaping me. But Levon's actually won 3 games already today. We obviously haven't been focusing on his games because he's not at the top.
No, the game of the performance of the day so far,
yes.
Tremendous. So Magnus had better watch out. We've got Levon on a roll.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Can he make it 4 in a row?
It seems hard to realize it, but it was only about 5 years ago that these two players were number 1 and number 2 in the world, and by quite a distance too. Levon was at 2850, I believe. He was
more
really
than
closing.
5, though. Yes, more than
than 5. It was
time flies quickly.
Maybe 7. The first
time
thing
flies quickly.
The first Sinkfield Cup back in 2013. So
2013,
7 years ago.
Yeah, it's more like 7. Because remember, Fabi won in 2014, and by then he was already number 2.
So we just saw the move Queen C2, which does allow the move Bishop takes F3, crippling the pawns. After G takes F3, okay, so Bishop F3 wasn't played. F5 instead, played by Magnus.
Which does allow Knight takes D5. Is that wrong?
That was the first move I was looking at too.
Both of us.
Maria's like, wait a minute.
You play F5, you make us
Knight D5, we have Bishop A5 check, which could be a little annoying, just a little tickle so that you can't castle.
Bishop
A5
well,
you could play Knight.
Can't castle.
Play Knight
D2. I guess it's because I can't play Knight D2 because there's.
You can't. You could play Knight D2 after Bishop A5.
I'm sorry. What can I do? Sorry. Bishop A5.
I'm thinking about Bishop A5. I just want to see if I can check you somewhere good because you can't play.
Oh,
B4,
you wanted me
right?
to play Knight D2? Who wants me to play Knight D2?
Well, Knight D5 is on the board. Knight D5 is on the board.
Okay. So the question is, what do you do against Bishop A5 if you want to?
I was going to move my king.
You're going to have to move your king. That's for sure.
So like F1 or something.
Exactly. I'm very happy
that's the compensation that Black is getting. That
check.
He did play Bishop A5. Check.
The board.
So I'm expecting King F1, King E2. I just hate. I mean, I hate walking into pins.
Yeah.
I just hate walking into pins.
But that's a bit of compensation because not only are you forced your opponent's king out of castling, but a move like F4 could be a threat. At the moment, F4, Queen E4, but with the idea that a D4 can become tender, right? Like right here, if I could somehow play F4 with my knight not being in take, then it could be pretty juicy for me, right?
I'm actually a little scared that we stole this pawn on D5 and it's Black with the initiative. And he's put the king on E2.
Wow.
Walking
what the
into
heck
the
is
pin.
that? Wow. What is that? I really, okay. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't follow you very well, Jen, because F4, I've always gotten knight takes F4 as well. I mean, never mind the fact that your knight is hanging, knight takes F, but king E2, okay.
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 There is a problem. There's a problem in the knight can get to D2 and guard. Yeah, sir. King F1. If King F1 as you play instead, let's go back to this King F1 very quickly while he's thinking.
Yeah.
King F1. If you take on F3.
Yeah. Okay.
Take on F3.
Let's look at the game, guys. King E2, knight takes
I wanted to say knight takes D4. This is the point.
Played.
Okay, so we can do it. We can do it from this position.
D4, and then knight D2, check, not check, but taking advantage of the pin and the knight on F3.
If I may, imagine the king is on F1. Imagine the king is on F1 and we had taken on F3. This move would have come with check. And then you play queen takes D5. So just imagine the king on F1 instead. He would have played bishop takes F3, done the same sacrifice, played knight D2 check, and then play queen takes D5. So that's why he moved the king to E2. Now this knight on D2 is guarding the C4 square, so white's pieces are problematic on the D line.
That's right. That's the whole point. The knight on D2 stops bishop C4, so now queen takes D5 is a threat. But at the moment, Black's down a full piece, right?
A piece, yes.
Yes.
two pieces.
So,
Knight,
I mean,
knight takes d4. Wow.
so wait, what
Okay,
happens if we
very-
play bishop c4 here?
Bishop c4.
Because
here.
you're guarding the c4 square, but I do have my queen on c2, right? So
Exactly. And you are setting up for, well, let's see, bishop c4.
maybe you just take
You're
and play
setting
bishop
up
f7, take in bishop f7 with just like a
yes,
simple
okay.
pin.
yep.
I like that. I like that,
Yeah.
Jen. That looks like a good retort, because if I go queen here to attack your bishop, you've got queen takes as well as, wow. Okay, super sharp. Holy,
This
Beautiful
has to be
tactic.
like, this has to be preparation, right? I mean,
yeah, I
it's-
can't
I mean,
imagine.
you know, Magnus is a great chess genius, but this is some wacky stuff to come up with over the board, right?
In 5-minute chess, yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a good bet that we're in their
Their prep, or so, at least something that
prep.
kind of reminds them of some other prep, right? They have spent a little bit of time. Queen c5, knight e4
Knight
played.
e4. Okay, so is this some highfalutin repetition that we're about to see with queen c2 and knight d2? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's just that's amazing.
That's some real
Like what
GM draw
and then the
at
problem
the highest
is,
level.
right. Then the problem that we've seen already is queen c4. This is desirable, right? You want it runs into this bishop, and there's also c6 too. No, no.
There's a knight check. But what about bishop f7, e6? I guess that doesn't work because you just take it, and knight to f6. There's always queen takes f6 or rook takes f6,
F6.
guarding that bishop on e6.
They are repeating.
Right. They are repeating. I thought we might have some crazy chess engine repetition, and there's no way to avoid this. Well, like knight f4, bishop takes, queen takes d4. That looks like a no.
Well, don't think too long, Levon. The worst thing to do is to think too long before the wrap, and then suddenly, and I think they made a draw. They have repeated after queen c5 and knight e2, knight d2.